Thank you very much, my...
To ensure our daughters are rescued so that they are not forgotten. And for those of your members that you've lost in the course of these 10 years of struggle, I pray that the Lord will grant them eternal rest and strengthen you people in what you are doing. Thank you very much.
Don't post that.
So sad. May the Almighty rescue. Thank you. What are we demanding in general? Since after the abduction of Chibok girls, we've had so many schools that have been attacked. That's why.
And gentlemen, I want to use this special occasion of the 10th year commemoration of the abduction of the Chibok girls to specially welcome the leadership and the entire membership of the Bring Back Our Girls movement family in Abuja, the lead family, like we all know. They have been our greatest pillar of support, and I cannot imagine this thing happening without them. So welcome and thank you very much. Gentlemen of the press, 10 years, too long, too hard to bear. This is being the text of a world press conference delivered by the Kibaku, otherwise known as Chibok, or better known as Chibok Area Development Association, CADA, on the occasion of the 10th year commemoration of the abduction of the Chibok girls, held at the Unity Fountain, Abuja, on Sunday, April 14, 2024. Today marks exactly a whole decade since the sad but unimaginable events of the night of April 14 to 15, 2024, when 276 of our daughters were abducted in their school, the Government Science Secondary School, Chibok. 194 of them are back, but about 82 of our beloved daughters are still missing and unaccounted for. Within this time, 48 parents have lost their lives, mostly due to heart conditions and other health-related reasons. 3 parents have been killed in subsequent Boko Haram attacks in Chibok and have been victims of vitriolic campaigns aimed at dissuading us from pursuing the cause of our daughters and their welfare, coupled with the broken promises from both the federal government of Nigeria and the Borno State Government. The first thing I want to dwell on in this World Press Conference is the pervasive failure by the Borno State Government in this unfortunate saga. We, the Kibaku, are deeply disappointed with the pervasive failure by successive governments of Borno State since 2014 in their inability or refusal or failure to rescue all our daughters for a decade now. And the obvious lack of interest by these governments to bring in the matter of insecurity and banditry in the Northeast, especially in the Chibok area, to an end. The saddest part for us as a people in this saga is that the official narrative from the Borno State Government seems to always take precedence and the center stage, and mostly believed and most of the time even amplified, unfortunately, by the media, without fact-checking, rather than the objective and the verifiable truth as expressed by the parents as well as the community and other interested parties involved. Even our daughters that escaped within the last 3 years, until very recently, have been secretly kept in so-called transit camps in Maiduguri, sometimes along and together with their captors. Following the persistence and insistence by some of the parents to see their returnee daughters, the government of Borno State, under the leadership of Professor Zulum, the Chibok community hereby seeks answers to the following piercing questions as a matter of urgency. Number one, under what guise and by what legal authority did the Borno State government continue and illegally and obnoxiously use the word marriage between the returnee girls and the so-called repentant terrorists? Number two, how are the girls' voices and or that of their parents or guardians being incorporated into the decision-making processes about their rehabilitation and reintegration into society? We want to know. Number three, are there support services by the Borno State government specifically tailored to address the psychological and emotional needs of these girls who may have experienced trauma during their captivity? Number four, what measures have the Borno State government put in place to ensure the safety and security of the girls both in Maiduguri and upon their eventual return to Chibok? Number five, how can the parents and or the guardians of the girls be actively involved in the planning and implementation of the programs aimed at their rehabilitation and reintegration into society? Number six, are the girls currently residing in Maiduguri housed with the repentant, so-called repentant Boko Haram terrorists, or are they housed separately? That's why I said these are piercing questions. They're not yes or no questions. 7, do the girls have the freedom to return to Chibok whenever they wish, or are there restrictions on their movement? Number 8, what is the rationale for keeping these girls in Maiduguri rather than allowing them to return to their families in Chibok or to any place of their choice for that matter? What activities, number 9 please, what activities and or support systems are available to the girls while in Maiduguri, we ask? Number 10, are they receiving education, vocational training, or are they employed in any capacity, and by whom and for what purpose? 12, I beg your pardon. Are there opportunities for the girls to actively participate in decision-making processes that affect their lives and future, such as educational and vocational training, now that they are all of age? They are of age. 13, can the Borno State government provide transparency regarding the situation of the girls? Is there any information being withheld from the public that the parents should be aware of? 14, how can the Chibok community, the Chibok Area Development Association, the community association, be involved in supporting the girls transit back into society and help to create supportive environment for them upon their ultimate return? Next, we want to place specific demands. Following these 14 questions, we, the Chibok Area Development Association, CADA, would love or would like to place the following specific demands on the Borno State government as well as the federal government of Nigeria. Let me start by saying, on this occasion of the 10th year commemoration of the adoption of our daughters, we strongly challenge governments at all levels, federal, state, and local, to work towards bringing a closure, one way or the other, to this fiasco. To do nothing as it is now seems, for the past 1 decade, is completely unacceptable, and we make the following additional demands on government. Number 1, the urgent release of the rescued girls in custody of the Borno State Government to their families and not to anybody, no the terrorists, the so-called repentant terrorists that were in the first place their abductors. The girls' consent and that of their parents or guardians were not sought before they were abducted. It's unimaginable. As such, what is the basis to seek their consent before they are allowed to be returned to their parents? Number two, we demand a formal rebuttal and apology to all the families and the community at large for the illegal cohabitation encouraged by the Borno State Government by calling the terrorists their husbands, and the failure to do so may result in legal action against the Borno State Government and all its officials who have used this insulting and demeaning terminology to describe a very ugly and painful situation. 10 years, too long, too painful to bear. Number three, we demand that we are availed all the rescued daughters at home and in school for any organization or group that wants to support them. There should be no restrictions. Borno State does not hold any monopoly over them. Anyone that needs to talk to the media, or anybody for that matter, wherever they are, must be allowed and always be led to do so without let or hindrance. What we understand today is that these girls are held a second time in captivity, this time by government. Number four, we need an upgrade of the secondary school in Chibok from where they were removed, because for those who have visited Chibok recently would understand what we're talking about here. The so-called rehabilitation is only good on pages of the newspapers and on the electronic media. We want those schools to be properly rehabilitated and put to better use. Number five, immediate disclosure of all the names of the daughters reported to be dead, as witnessed and established by their classmates and friends while in captivity. There's no dodging the bullet here. Two of the parents have since gotten the news of the passing of their daughters and have brought a closure on their own. Sadly so. The parents and the community leadership want this position taken immediately rather than the endless and the hopeless waiting that we think is playing the ostrich. Number six, our rescued daughters and some parents already have phone contacts, are in communication with some of the unaccounted girls, believe it or not. Also, investigation of some other sources of funding for the daughters' scholarship without details, because some are getting calls from abroad by families and faith-based organizations that are said to be sponsors. We need to know who these sponsors are, and the Chibok community would need to document and properly appreciate these sponsors. The Borno State is simply too secretive. Number 8, the Chibok community should be open to everyone that wants to access it legally. I, as national president of the Chibok Area Development Association, I know what I go through every time I need to go to Chibok, and I need to go to Chibok. I have to go to Chibok. I cannot be national president and sit down in Abuja or Lagos, where I spend a lot of time. So, we are calling that the government should make everyone that wants to have access, legal access. I'm not asking for armed men to go in there without any security threat, to allow the media, the NGO, and other well-spirited individuals that want to come and support the schools, the parents, even the IDPs, staying within the camps in the area and the host communities. We are presently under siege on the pretext of security protection, while Boko Haram continues to attack our towns and villages freely. Anytime they want to attack, they are there. If I want to go, they search me to my underwear. Number 9, for the 10th time, we demand the release of the General Sabo Fact-Finding Committee report of 2014. I repeat, we demand the release of that fact-finding report. That report or that committee was charged with finding out the circumstances that made that rather sordid and infamous event possible. Till today, because I went to high school in southern Nigeria, I have classmates from southern Nigeria who do not believe that that abduction took place till today. They challenge me in old boys association meetings and say that you're shouting your head hoarse over nothing. So we demand that that General Sabo report be made public, because there's a lot in there that will tell us what exactly transpired on April 14th, 2014. The committee indeed carried out its assignment, submitted the report to the federal government, but 10 years on, the federal government has not had the courage nor seen the overriding public interest and the need to make the report public, while 82 of our daughters are still unaccounted for, and 48 parents, plus 3 that were in addition killed, making 51, have since gone to the land beyond. Finally, appreciation. And this is very sober. I want to, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, the National Executive Council, and the entire members of the Chibok Area Development Association, popularly known as CADA, and indeed the Chibok community worldwide, thank and appreciate the Nigerian security forces, especially the fighting men and women on the field, for their commitment and sacrifice in fighting Boko Haram terrorists in particular, and in the rescue of the Chibok girls. We remain grateful and appreciative. And on this occasion of the 10th year commemoration of the Chibok girls' abduction, we the Chibok people again wish to place on record the strongest, most resilient, and ever supportive Bring Back Our Girls family of Abuja, the lead family. The one in Lagos, the one in New York City, and indeed the world over, for being the shield of armor in defense of the struggle for the release of the 276 girls abducted 10 years ago. May God Almighty reward your labor of love and bless you all. Long live the Federal Republic of Nigeria, long live Borno State, long live the Chibok Local Government Council, and long live the Chibok Area Development Association. I thank you very much.